So when switching to the M1 MacBook Air from the Mac Mini, I've kind of needed more ports. Now I do have a USB-C dongle, one of the normal ones, a couple USB-A ports, an SD card reader, that kind of thing, right? But I needed more than that. I have Gigabit Ethernet here in my apartment, and I also want to use my laptop on a separate monitor, so I did need a dongle that had more. But you kind of want something powered, especially when you're transferring through Ethernet and you have a couple of other USB-C ports, and you also want something that's gonna power your laptop. So I went into heavy research mode onto what would be the best docking station for an M1 computer, and everywhere I looked, every review on YouTube, every website list of best docking stations all recommended the same CalDigit one. And it does look good and it does sound amazing, but it costs like $250. Now I understand why it costs this much, but it does also feel kind of stupid having to pay that much for just some extra ports. So I went looking around and I found on Amazon this UTechSmart 17-in-1 docking station, and horrible name aside, it's honestly really good. But most importantly, it costs $120, which is obviously a whole lot less than that CalDigit one. What does it actually have on it that makes it good? Well, if you look in the back, you do have what's most important to me, an Ethernet port. And of course a couple USB-A ports, a VGA port, which is kind of random in all honesty, and then 3 HDMI ports. And before we get into that, this is kind of built to run 2 different computers and also run 3 monitors at the same time. That's a little different of a use case than what I'm using it for, and I think for most people that's a weird use case, but other than that, it has all the other ports that I think most of us need. Flip that thing around and we have 3 USB-A 3.0 ports, a microSD and SD card reader, and a USB-C Thunderbolt 3 port, and lastly, a microphone, headphone / adapter type port. Before anybody starts arguing, oh, the CalDigit one is still way better. Yeah, you're right, it is better. But it also costs way more than this one does, and that was the point. I make videos for a living, and all I really need is a USB-C port, maybe a couple USB-A ports, and really an SD card reader, and of course that Ethernet in the back. And this does all of that, and that's all I needed the CalDigit one for, and I did it for way less. And yes, I can see how people may want more USB-C ports. It does feel a little bit like false advertising on the back, because there are 3 USB-C ports, but one is used to power the actual dock, and the other 2 are used to power your laptop or MacBook, whatever you're using. That is actually one of my big cons against this, is that I opened the box. It doesn't come with a USB-C wall adapter to actually power the dock, much like your iPhone 12. Thankfully I had one sitting around I was able to plug in and use. It did come with all the cables it needed, but no wall adapter. So there's a con, but in reality that's like a $10 to $15 con if you don't currently have one you could use. But overall, this thing does what I need it to do. It is a Thunderbolt 3 compatible dock, which means that the transfer speeds are extremely fast, which is nice for when you're editing video, when you're having to transfer large files between an external SSD. But again, I have my SD card reader there. I have USB-A ports if I need to plug anything else in. Right now, it usually just gets used for flash drives and then my Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. And then of course the whole reason I even got it was for a single HDMI port, which it has 3 of I can use, but there's one, and the Gigabit Ethernet port, which is very important to me because I pay a lot of money for Gigabit Ethernet and I need to use it, right? So that's the point of all this. If you're looking for a docking station and you keep seeing online CalDigit, and you're like, I don't want to spend $250. I already spent $1,500 on this M1 MacBook Air. Like, what am I gonna do? It's just too much money right now. I get that. I feel you. I'm here for you. I'm with you. Anyways, this is the one you need. You don't want to spend that kind of money, but you still need a docking station. And that's what I needed. And so I pass it on to you. But let me know if you have any issues with this one. Maybe you have it and you're like, actually, it's not that great. And maybe I'm an idiot. Let me know in the comments and give me some other options. Give us other options. Maybe you have one that's even cheaper than this one that I didn't find. That'd be great because I can still return this thing. Let me know in the comments and I will see you guys in whatever video I come up with next. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I should be planning ahead.